Hi everyone, good evening and welcome to this next class, the seventh class of the C programming series. And today there's different topic. I got some message from Ashwani. He wanted to ask and he is interested for, let me see this. There's a program called, okay, you want to use switch case. You want to enter some value and that should be integer type. So enter a day in your print statement, you need not to write ampersand a. This ampersand is needed for scanf only. Yeah. So the problem is that you didn't use break statement in each case. So you should use break. Remember yesterday we were using break statement in each case, right? Through which, uh, the next case was not being printed. So if you will print or if you will press 1 or 2 or 3, something like that. Good evening Agriti, good evening everyone. So what is scanf? Scanf is to use for taking user inputs on running time. So whenever the program will be running, user can give n number of inputs, right? We will use this also. I did not tell this just to not to make you confused about how to use or how to take user inputs. So I'll tell you once we will done with the concepts. So Ashwani, I hope you have got the answer. You should not use ampersand a in printf first, and also and that, however, it is not related to your problem, but you should not use that. It's not a part of printf. And second thing is you should use break statement in each case of switch statement. Okay. Okay, cool. So let's start the discussion upon the today's topic, and the topic is related to loop, right? So when do we use loops and why do we need it? How to use them? How many types of different types of loops are available in C programming? Let us understand that. And also I'll let you know the loops which we are going to learn will be same for all the programming languages almost, right? So while and for, there are two different types of for loops available, and for different places you can use both different types of both different types of loops basically. Okay. So it's not mandatory to use for loop at one place and while loop for another place. Many people commented that you should use for loop for this purpose and while loop for this purpose. For my in my opinion, for as per my recommendation, you can use any particular loop at any place. However, for is specifically little slower for large value, large set, large range, and for smaller range while is good, right? While is good, and for large value set for could be little slower. So if lower values are concerned, lower repetition or maybe iterations are concerned, then you can use for loop or while loop, any one of them. But for large range of repetitions, you should use while loop. Okay. So let us understand how to use them and why to use them in different use cases. Okay. um First of all, let us see what do we have in the syllabus today. For loop, we need to discuss how many loops do we have in C, how to use them, and why do we need loops, right? And we have while loop, we have do while loop, we have for loop. So all three categories of loop will be going to study today. Okay. Let me open your chats if you have some questions, and the participant list as well. Cool. So why do we need loop? Let me start this pad now. So suppose you have a condition. Suppose you have an input called A is 5. You have another input B as 3. And likewise, if 5 and 3. These two inputs are variable which will be changing in future, right? Anytime the values of A and B can be changed, right? And we want to implement a condition called C, a kind of formula. Suppose C is equal to A plus B. So the resultant will be getting different values, or the resultant would be changed, right? Every time, whenever the inputs will be changed, right? So in this case, you need to run this condition again and again, and you will check whether what are the different inputs are going to come, right? So that you will be having different outputs. Okay, so now if there are hundreds of different inputs where you need to apply the same formula, so why to use this, why to use these two lines again and again, right? You need to copy these lines again and again. Now you want to print hello, right? And you want to print it for 100 times. So you can write print 100 number of times. Instead of that, you can use a loop, right? You can just simply write one single line of code for a print statement and another line. Suppose you have for. So this for knows, and the purpose of using for is that this particular statement, which is print one, right? This statement should be repeated again and again. And how many times? That number will be controlled with the help of for. Okay, let me repeat my words once again. How many times do you want to repeat the same process? That number will be controlled. Let me change the width and the color also. How many times do you want to run this particular loop? That number will be controlled with the help of for or while, right? This is the purpose of loop. And there are two loops of for and while. However, we have do while loop also, but it's a part of while itself. Extended part of while can be utilized as do while. There was a problem in while. There was a use case where while could not be used. Then you can use do while loop, right? And that's why, and also you cannot use for loop also at that particular use case where while while will create a particular problem also. Okay, so while and for will create a problem, then do while solves that issue. Okay, so in a smaller sense, in a specific sense, if you want to figure out whether why to use for loop, right, and why to use while loop, any particular loop in the program, now you have got an idea. Whenever any situation is there when you need same repetition, same output again and again, then you don't need to write those many lines again and again, right? You can simply write a particular loop. Okay, so loop is nothing but a statement, either a statement of for or a statement for while, which knows I'm just repeating these things again and again so that it should strike your mind and you should remember these examples. So whenever any repetition is needed, then you can use for or while, and the purpose of for and while is same, to repeat the same things you want to repeat at one particular place, right? And for is a statement, while is a statement. Either for or while, you can use any one of them to keep a number, keep a range, which will help to repeat this process. So that particular number will be available inside this keyword called while. Okay, so for looping purpose, suppose you are making a program where something should happen in day and night, right? In morning this should happen, in evening this should happen. So like you use your alarm, right? In mobile phone you use alarm. So you have set an alarm for 10 p.m. It should alarm you that at 10 p.m. you should sleep, or at 10 p.m. it should be a notification, there should be an alarm that after 1 hour, within 1 hour you should sleep. Okay, this is the activity. So, and this alarm will be raised daily. So what happens in your mobile phone, the programmer which has developed this particular alarm application in your mobile phone has developed or written a code where for loop or while loop is actually placed at the backside, right? You have set it for 10 p.m. There is an alarm, and you have also enabled, there was a switch which was enabled for all days. So it will happen for all the days for every week. Okay, so every day you will get an alarm at 10 p.m., right? This is how it happens. So in many use cases, almost every programmer needs it. Not almost, every programmer needs it. And I would say almost every product, every project, I don't think could be completed without any loop. Okay, it's a real life, and real life is just analogous, and it requires looping in the real nature. Okay, so you have any process, this process can be done through any looping. Okay, so there is a syntax. There is syntax. Syntax means there is a pattern of writing a code in C programming. However, this pattern could be different for different programming languages. For R programming language, it will be different. For Python, it will be different, right? But the concept of using for or while will always be same. How to use, sorry, how to write program, that method, how to write this one. Suppose we write if else like this, if like this, right? So in other programming language, these brackets will not be needed. Maybe some in some programming language, these bracket will also be needed, or may not be needed also, right? Semicolon, somewhere semicolon will be needed, will not be needed, right? So in different programming languages, you may need these lines in a same format, or format could be changed. Okay, and this is the only difference in different programming languages. So learning a new language after C programming language will be just a matter of few days. Not a few days, I would say just a matter of few hours only, because you need to just go through with, because the concepts will be same, the methods of implementation or logics will be same. The only difference would be format of writing those logics in those languages, and that's it. So C++ or Python or R language or MATLAB or Java, right? Any programming language would be just a matter of few hours of thing with respect to what you have learned in C. Okay, anything new which is related to OOPS programming language or something else, the new concepts which are not available in C, then I'm sure it may take some more time, but the concepts which are available in C will be just a matter of few hours. Okay, and this is my promise to you, it will happen for you. Okay, it's just a seventh class. I'm I mean totally concerned about that you have gained the knowledge and the confidence in last 7 days, that at least you'll be able to um, you'll be able to cope up with the concept that we have studied and that we have discussed, and you'll be able to form the programs or the codes in different logics, whatever I'm just giving you the problem statement on. Okay, so let us go on implementation. This was the thing, and let me open JDoodle, the online compiler or online portal, where I would choose C compiler. Here we have a default code, right? Now I want to print something. I want to print hello, and I want to print hello in new line every time. So first time this will be printed. Next time I need to use, sorry, this 5 times. Okay, you can write in single line also like this as well, not an issue, right? You can write in a single line as well, so the way you want. Okay, now the problem is hello will be printed, and after that this hello will be coming next to the previous hello without any gap, without any space. So either we can use \t here or here as well. \t, 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 backslash t and backslash t. However, you don't need this backslash in the end, but like suppose this is just a line which is repeated every time. So anything which is repeated, the answer which we are going to get is this, right? I want to get the same answer. I want to check the same answer thing, right? So instead of repeating this line again and again, we can use any loop, right? Suppose I want to use for loop. So for the syntax of for is in such a way you can declare any variable. The variable should be initialized with any particular value. You may initialize or you may not initialize it also. So here in this for loop, you have to give the starting value of this particular loop. Suppose starting value is 10. Then how many times do you want to write it? 5 times. So this loop should be running for 5 times, right? And I plus plus. Right? So what happens in this case? So the initial value of I is 10. This is a range. Range means you're starting from 10 and you will go up to 15. And this is a symbol where we are just checking it for less than 15. It means here inside this for loop, what happens? The first condition is for starting value. This is for the last value. And this is for the relation value. Like how will you increment the value of any particular loop, right? Or any particular variable, right? So here I is 10 and will be going up to 15 with the relation of plus plus, which means I is equal to I plus 1. Every time the value of this variable will be increased by 1. Okay. Now, if I'll run this code, the same answer is going to come. Hello, 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 like that. If instead of hello, if I would give star, then the star is going to come, right? If I won't give this tab and I would give slash n, which means in every next line, I'm going to get this particular star, okay? And this is the main important thing, right? Where we are printing something. Instead of 10, you can use here 100, you can write here 100.05, right? 105, right? And the answer will be same. So it's up to you. How do you write the logic of this particular loop? You can write it from -5 to 0 as well. It should be less than 0. I plus plus. The answer will be same. So it does not matter whether how do you write these values. The only matter is whether the range is same, which will help you to print this statement for 5 times. If you want it for 100 times, just use 0 till 100 and that's it. Yeah, this is the answer for 100 times. If instead of 100 and we want to write them in one single line itself, right? Then it will help you for the same line. This is how it's going in. Oh my God. I just went back. Need to write it again. I is equal to 0 or I normal for I is equal to 0, I less than 100, I plus plus print, right? And this was star and backslash t, right? Here we were printing it for the same line. Yeah, this is printing it for the same line. Cool. Okay. So I hope you have understood the meaning of for. Meaning of for. Okay. Let me just go through it. 10 stars only. Okay. Now let us understand how to use. Okay, you can do one more thing. You can initialize any value here as well. If you initialize any value with 5, but you change the value of I here in for loop from 5 to 0, then again the meaning of I will start from 0 only, right? Because this was the initiation, this was the initialization, but later for loop the value of I has become 0, right? and the value of I after this for loop would be, let us print the value of I after this for loop would be value of I. You can write here \n so that it should come in next line, comma, the value of I should be printed, right? And semicolon. So the value of I is I. Okay, percentile D as well. Sorry, is 10, right? A is, yeah. Value of I is 10. Why it is 10? Because after coming out from this loop, the value of I has become 10. And because it was 10, and here we are checking the condition that 10 is less than 10. No. So if this condition breaks, then you will come out of this particular loop. So to break any loop, this condition must be dissatisfied. Whenever it will be dissatisfied, then only this particular loop will be broken and you will come out of it, right? And whatever is written outside will be printed, right? Now, instead of doing this, I want to use while loop. Okay, now you can either initialize it or not, does not matter. If you don't want to use this also, remove this. I want to just initialize inside. So now if we want to print the value of I, because I has become an local variable, right? It is not a local variable for main loop. Now I has become a local variable for loop, because this I is initialized inside this for, right? And we want to display the value of I outside this for. So there'll be an error, right? Because I is not declared, I is undeclared, right? I is not declared because this was a local variable. However, if you will write here this thing, then it makes sense, same sense. But still I is local variable, but I is local variable for function. And if we declare inside, then I is variable, local variable for loop, right? If you declare it twice, here also you have declared, here also you have declared, then there's no sense of using this particular loop, because whenever I would be counted, this I is different and this I is different, this I is different. For semicolon. Similarly, if you'll use semicolon here, it means there is no use of, yes, you know, this particular statement. If you by mistake, if you have used this particular semicolon, right? If you have used this particular semicolon here, there is no use of semicolon to run this particular for loop again and again. That's it. It's just a statement. No use of. Now you can think like the for loop is completed here. No use of these brackets. Nothing printed. Just a statement. And because we have printed something, that's why this is being printed. So your for loop is not working in this case. Okay. So please try to use. Try not to use this semicolon after for loop. Okay. So this I is different. This I is different, right? So declare it locally. Declare it locally in the for loop, depending whether you need this variable outside the for or not. If you declare any variable here, j is equal to 0, right? So this j is local variable for loop only. You cannot use j outside this for loop, right? And this is what you have to keep in mind, whether where you are using this particular declaration. Either it is outside from the condition or inside the condition. Okay. So it is defined by these brackets. So whenever you write anything, please try to keep in mind whether where these brackets are written, right? So if I would keep this here and you want to write or display the value of j, display the value of j, right? It will give the error basically here, right? J is not declared because j was the local variable, right? So let me change it. Don't need this. Yeah. No, this will not execute once. Uh, Yeah, Rangaswamy, it's not going to execute once also. You are you are actually experiencing or feeling it that it has it has run for the first time at least once. No, because for loop is ended here and we were writing the print statement here. So because the meaning of print statement is still to print something, that's why it has printed something. It did not execute something from inside. Okay, so it has ended. There's no meaning of for loop after giving this semicolon here. Okay, I hope you have understood about the meaning of for loop. This is the case where for repeating something you can use for loops. Okay, now let me remove this. Instead of for, we want to use while loop. Now inside while, only one condition is written: initialize your value outside. Now your initialization should be done outside only. In for, there are three parameters. In while, only one single parameter is given. Here you have to give the condition, only the middle part of for. Let me write it here. This is called as double slash is called as comment. Okay, comment means either these lines are written in the code, something you have written here will not be executed, will not get any error if written after double slash. Okay, so what we have written, we were using for loop here, initialization right, then condition, then increment or decrement, right? So we have seen an example for increment only as of now. So here what happens in while, the condition that you have to write, this middle part is going to come inside while. The first part you have to declare before this while, and this increment or decrement part you have to give inside the while. So whenever this loop is going to cover complete here, before that you can just give a condition like I plus plus. This is the only difference. So giving these values or format of writing while and for is just same. You can say for is divided in three parts to use while. Initialization has been given before the while, before the starting of while, and condition is given inside the while, and inside this loop itself, inside the brackets, you have to give condition for increment or decrement, right? And this is the difference only for both of them. So you have to give condition. Suppose I want to print 10 times, so I is less than 10. So initial value of I is 0. It will run up to 10 only because less than condition is there. If I'll write here less than equal to, then it will run it for 11 times. So I want to run it for 10 times only, so I can change this value from 0 to 1. So 1 to 10, the values of I will be changing from 1 to 10. The initial value is 1. So 1 is less than equal to 10. So this while makes the condition like if also. So while will check whether it is true or not. So if it is true, then only it will go inside. So I is when is because I was 1, so 1 is less than equal to 10. Yes, and then it will go inside. It will print this star. The value of I will be incremented by 1. Then it will go inside this while once again to check the condition. Now I has become 2, right? 2 is less than 10. Yes, it will go inside once again. It will print this star value, and because there was a space using slash t or backslash t, then after a space you will print this star once again, and then again and again this thing will be happening till this condition gets dissatisfied. And this will be dissatisfied only when the value of I will become greater than 10. Okay, and here value of I will become greater than 10, which means 11, after running it for 10 times. And then whenever it will come out, the value of I will become 11. So here value of I will be displayed as 11, right? So let us run this. So I is 11 now. So the difference between for and while would be here, whenever you have come out of this loop, the value of I was 10. However, in while loop, whenever you will come out of this loop will be incremented by 1, because anyhow, it will be, yeah, let me explain it once again. I hope you have understood, Akriti, about the difference between both of them. For if you
सर
will, yes,
सर अपन ये जो while के साथ for यूज करना जरूरी है?
while के साथ for यूज करना, कहाँ यूज कर रहे हैं, नहीं यूज कर रहे ना।
मतलब कि जैसे आपने for के ऊपर लाइन लिखी है तो ये लिखना जरूरी है?
मैंने वही समझाया था अभय कि ये तो एक कमेंट है, मैं समझाना चाह रहा था कि आपको दोनों का मीनिंग समझ में आ सके। ये कमेंट का मतलब होता है ये प्रोग्राम का हिस्सा नहीं है अभी, समझे? ये दिख रहा है अभी प्रोग्राम के अंदर, लेकिन
यस
ये
सर।
प्रोग्राम का हिस्सा नहीं है। मतलब कि ये कि जब भी आपको कभी कुछ कमेंट लिखना भूल गए आप, कभी आपको याद रखना है कि यार वाइल क्यों यूज किया था, मैंने इंटीजर क्यों डिक्लेयर किया था, तो वो कुछ भी कमेंट आप यहाँ लिख सकते हो, समझे क्या?
यस सर।
तो डबल स्लैश के बाद जो भी लिखोगे वो कमेंट का हिस्सा होगा, और वो कमेंट कभी भी कंपाइलर एग्जीक्यूट नहीं करता है। वो कमेंट मतलब केवल आपके समझने के लिए प्रोग्राम के अंदर लिखे जाते हैं, ठीक है? सो फॉर लूप को अगर ब्रेक कर दें, इफ विल ब्रेक दिस फॉर लूप इन 3 पार्ट्स. Initialization must be given earlier, then condition must be inside, and then increment or decrement must be given inside this condition of while loop. Then in this breaking model of for loop in 3 parts will become while loop, right? So almost both are same. I would not tell whether while is slow or for is slow. Both are equally capable, and I don't think I would recommend you to use for or while at different places, right? Even though you would face difficulty for a longer range. Suppose the range is 2 hues for different variables. Instead of I, you have multiple variables, j, k, l, right? Likewise, you have multiple variables. Then you may feel difficulty while working with for loop for a longer range, right? So better to use while loop in that case. Okay, so let us just go through with implementing for loop and while loop now. Okay. Sir, will for and while both work for locally and locally declared variable? Yeah, it will work for local declared variable and global declared variable also. No, it does not matter upon local and global variable declarations. Okay, if I would use this outside the main here as well, because global will work inside this main also, so it's not an issue. You can just display this value as well. The meaning of this variable declaration is same. Meaning of variable declaration will come under the same thing, local, global, and static one, right? It is just same. But the thing is, if you have declared this inside while, it will not work, because while has to start with this particular variable called I, and because I is declared inside while, that's why it will not work, right? However, in for loop it may happen, because here inside this condition only you can write that. Here inside this condition only you can write this initialization, right? So there are some format. Now this is the format of writing for loop or while loop. Okay, if I execute it now, Akriti, you were asking about, I hope, the value of I, right? So when we were coming out from for loop, should I uh, copy this and tell you the execution of both of the things? Here I would use for loop. For int I is 0, I is less than equal to or less than 10, I plus plus. Now the problem with this program is, after this for loop, the value of I will become 10. And if it is 10, so this while loop will only run for one time, right? The value of I will be 10. And because this while loop will start from 10 and it will run it for once only, whenever it will come out of it, the value of I will become 11. And this is the difference. See, so value of I is 1, because I is declared outside of this condition. So let me declare this here. Okay. So value of I is 10, right? After that, it will enter into while condition. Then you have printed this particular star, right, only once, and the value of I will become 11, and as soon as it will become 11, it will come out of while loop, right? And we have printed the value of while loop here as 11. So this is the advantage and disadvantage, or you would say these are the condition, not advantage or disadvantage. I would say this is the condition. You should remember, you should keep in mind that after executing loop, what will happen to that variable which we are using inside for any execution, okay? An execution. And also one more thing, here the initiation was started from 1 and it was less than equal to condition. If you'll use this, then value will become 10, right? Here the value will become 10, right? Depending upon your use case, it will become of that. Yeah, I hope this is clear, and nothing has been printed because the condition was different. Now if I change the condition again here for something, I should be greater than 10. I should be greater than 10. Again, this while loop will not work because the value of 10 value of I is 10 and it should be greater than 10. Then also nothing will happen, right? But what if I would use greater than equal to 10? And let me run this program. So it will become, my program has got hanged. JDoodle output limit reached, which means this is somewhat infinite loop, which will never end, right? Which will never end. And this is what we have to keep in mind. Whether do you want to run any loop where something should be running for infinite times, right? Okay. I hope you understood this thing. Is that clear, everyone? Is that clear? So you can use for loop or while loop, any one of them at different places whenever you want. But you should know the concept of both of the things. Okay. Now, you have while and this. Let me remove this now. Okay. So you have for loop, you have while loop. Inside while, you have to give only condition. Right. That's it. Now, instead of while, see here what happens. While requires any condition, and to go inside this condition, suppose I would use greater than equal to, right? So here you have to satisfy this condition, then only this will print. But what if I would change this to, I would cut from here, I would change it to do, and I would use while here. And this is the condition, I mean, this is the syntax of writing do while loop. And whenever while loop will be will be ended here after this in do while, we have to use this semicolon. So what happens in this syntax, do means do this at least once and then check while loop. However, what was happening in while, check this, then only do this. Can you find a difference in both the language? Right? So do this, first of all, check this, then only do this. But here in do while, what is happening, do this and then check this. If it's satisfied, do this again, do this again, do this again, do this again, and it should be done till this is satisfied. So in this case, this do while works at least for once. This condition will be running at least for once. Okay, so let me run this code. So it will run it for first time, then the value of I will be incremented, then incremented by 1, and it will be checked for this condition. I will become 1, 1 is less than 10, yes, again and again, again and again, it will be running up. After coming out of this particular loop, the value of I will become 11. Like earlier in other, while case, it was giving the same value also, right? So do while, the difference between do while and while is in the definition of the same, language. While means until or unless this condition is satisfied. the internal statement will not be running. The internal condition will not be running, right? In do while case, try to do this at least for once, and then check whether this condition satisfied or not. If it's satisfied, then repeat the same process again and again. Okay, so we have seen for loop, while loop, and do while loop. All these statements are clear. Any problem, anyone? Any problem, anyone? Is that clear? Cool. Now, let us see, can we use nested for loop also? Can we go through with nested while condition as well, right? So I can make this for, so these codes, I mean slash and asterisk and slash, this can be used for multiple line comments. So whatever you have written inside this will not be executing. Okay, will not be executing. Now let's also, not only this one, let me use this as well. Right, so this is multi-line comment, and this is what we have, single line comment. So for every single line you need to write double slash. For multiple line you need not to write this single, I mean double slash for single line, all single lines. Okay, so now let's talk about multiple or nested for loop. For, like in the way we will be writing code for nested for loop, similarly we can write it for while loop and do while loop also. So int for I is equal to 0, I is less than 10, I plus plus, I want to print f within bracket printf star, and I want to print that with the next line. And again I have for loop int j. This time I have initialized here only. J is less than equal to or less than 10 and j plus plus. Right? Let me print something, printf within bracket. Here I want to display hash, so that you should get the difference between both of them. Backslash n. Right? So this for loop will be running for 10 times for every star. Think about it. For every star, let me run this first of all. Star will be printed once, then 10 hash will be printing, and everything will be in next line. Then again, so let me make it small for 5 times, for 5 times. So for this for loop, this will be running for once, and this will be running for 5 times. Think about it. So in total, the entire loop will be running for 25 times. Right? For this activity, this will be running for 5 times. Again, it will increment by 1, then again 5 times. Again, this will increment by 1, then again 5 times. Like that, this particular loop will be running for 25 times and 5 times for this particular thing. So in total, how many times this print statement will be used? 30 times. 30 times. Okay. How out of all 30 print statements, 25 would be for hash and 5 would be for this star. Let me run this. Here star is coming, then 5 times hash is coming. Again star is coming, then 5 times hash is coming. Again star and hash, like that. Okay. So suppose I would not use backslash n here. Let me remove this. See what is happening. Star hash, like that. Okay. Okay, now I would just remove this as well. So everything will be coming in a single same line. Star, then 5 time hash, star, and then 5 time hash, like that. Okay, right? So what if I would use, maybe I would use \t here, so that you can get to know this. Yeah, so star here, 5 time hash, and then both are coming near to each other. Then again 5 time, and then again near to this. Let me change this to this place, \t. So it will give you different outcomes. See, this is the series which we are getting. Okay. Now, instead of this, if I'll use star, right? So what will happen? 1 star and then 5 star. But this is also a star. So again, this is the combination. And this is how the series is becoming. Now, what if I would not use this, right? And I would use a print statement here. And here only I would be using \n. Let us understand that what will happen. See what happens here. If I would use hash to make you the proper difference. Yeah, so 1 star and then 5 hash, right? 1 star and then 5 hash. And after completing this for loop, one new line is coming up. What if I would use \n here as well? So think how it is coming up. 1 star, then 5 hash, 1 star, and then 5 hash, and then 1 star, then 5 hash, like that. Okay. So this is how we can write multiple for loops. Inside this, if you want to play with another for loop, for, I'm not giving you any pattern as of now, just to let you know whether how can you use this. Z is equal to 0. Z is less than equal to or less than 5. Z plus plus. Right, print within bracket, we should use another statement called @ suppose, and \n also. Let me execute that. So star hash inside which 5 times @, right? 5 times @, and then again hash @, hash @, hash @, and then again star. So for 1 star, it will run it for 1 hash, and 1 hash, for 1 hash it will run it for 5 times. So in total this will be running 25 times. This will be running, sorry, this will be running 125 times. This will be running for 25 times, and this will be running for 5 times. So 125 plus 25 plus 5. This will be the total run of this particular activity. This will be the total run of this particular activity. If I remove this, it will look like this, right? So in total, it will be a count of 125 plus 25 plus 5, which means around 155 number of times this loop is going, these 3 loops are going to run. Any problem, anyone? This is how we can implement nested for. Similarly, we can implement nested while also, nested do while also. Any problem, anyone? Nesting means something which will be happening inside any condition, inside the same condition, like nested if, nested for, nested while, nested do while, and so on. Is that okay? Is that clear? Should we go ahead now? Is there any question? Anyone? Any question, anyone? किसी का कोई क्वेश्चन है? लूप कैसे स्टार्ट करना है, लूप को कैसे कैसे लोकल वेरिएबल लूप के बनाने हैं, नेस्टेड कंडीशन कैसे लिखनी है, ब्रैकेट की रेंज कहां तक चलेगी, कोई इश्यू है किसी को? नहीं? ठीक है, बहुत सिंपल सा क्वेश्चन है और ये मुझे लगता है कि आपकी लॉजिक बिल्डिंग में हेल्प करेगा, लॉजिक बिल्डिंग में हेल्प करेगा। आई वॉन्ट यू टू राइट ए प्रोग्राम जिसमें कुछ ऐसा पैटर्न बने स्टार का। कैन यू राइट दिस कोड? ये बहुत सिंपल है, सेम ही पैटर्न बनाना है, 5 एंड देन 3 एंड देन 1। पहली बार ये हमारा गायब हो गया, फिर हमारा ये एरिया गायब हो गया। कैन वी राइट दिस कोड? हियर यू मे नीड nested for loops or nested while loops. Try to implement it through both while and for. Let me see how many of you are actually good with the application of loops. Right, try to implement while and for both, and this is the small program for today. Or if after that, if you some of you, if you want like some more creative, any good logic, you can write like this as well. Make star with stars. Can you do this using both the loops, for and while? Can we do this? These are two specific problems. The one is this one, right? The one is this one, and the second was this one. This one. कर पाएंगे? तो 4 स्टेटमेंट बन गए, 4 प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट, 4 homeworks for today, right? This with for and while, this for and while, दोनों से करके देखें. I'll be happy. Let me see who will submit it first, who will send me first. आज करें, क्लास खत्म होने की कितनी देर बाद कौन मुझे भेज पाता है? I will give you the context also. After 2 or 3 days, we'll have a context, and that context will help us to understand multiple activities also. और competition रखते हैं next week में. Somebody has told कि कुछ आप लोगों के एग्जाम आ रहे होंगे 7th से 8th से, right? We'll see उसके बाद कैसे कर पाएंगे, 2-3 दिन का गैप होगा या बीच में हम लोग टाइम कम कर देंगे, whatsoever. ठीक है, तो एक कंपटीशन रखेंगे, उस कंपटीशन में मजा आने वाला है. Whoever will win will have the somewhat good prize. ठीक है, so enough for today. कल मिलते हैं, and the counting is started. Let me see who will complete this first. Okay, so bye bye for today. Tomorrow we'll meet once again at the same time, 8:30. Enjoy, and the topic for tomorrow would be this thing: control flow of C programming. Break statement, continue, go to. This will be just a matter of few minutes. So we'll see if we can move ahead with the array part as well, right? We can move ahead with the array part as well. And if not possible, then we'll see how to take user inputs and break, continue, go to statement. And we'll see tomorrow, can we prepare a project also? So in Saturday and Sunday, in these 2 days, we'll be able to write a code for making a project as well. Okay, that project will be exciting. and that will cover a couple of dimension and the learning which we have gone through in last couple of days. So enough for today. If any question is there, please ask. Any question? No?
Sir, I have a question, sir.
Please.
Sir, like you had mentioned that the final value will be increased by 1 in case of while loops, right?
Mhm.
So it will be that will happen in every case, or will it only be in cases of less than or greater than equal to?
In every case.
Every Okay, sir. Understood,
Yeah.
sir.
See, like your case is less than 10, right?
Yes, sir.
So because it will be broken at the same point, right? It will be broken at the value of 10. But whenever it will come out of it, it will have the value of I or that variable as 10 itself. Understood now?
Okay, sir. Understood, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Cool. So enough for today. Tomorrow we'll meet once again. Till then, bye bye. Enjoy co-learning and do your practice. Bye bye.